Howdy, y'all. Caleb here. It's almost time for the General's Handbook. It looks like it's going up for pre order this next week, so that's pretty exciting. As we should start seeing some major changes to the meta. What is good? Hopefully, we'll see some tweaks and adjustments. I know it looks like battle tactics are going to be changing pretty wildly, so that'll be pretty fun to see what we need to do to score points in this new season of Age of Sigmar. Seraphon is usually positioned pretty well. We have a pretty big roster of units in that we can adjust and flow with whichever the direction the stream is going at the time. So I feel confident that we'll have some good options in our army with this new General's Handbook. So that's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that, and we'll definitely have some videos on that. What I wanted to see was that we had a new Spearhead that was announced. So I guess they're updating Spearhead. I'm gonna be honest, I haven't played very much Spearhead. I know my son wants to play it with me, but we haven't had as much time to play Spearhead as I probably wanted to. So I need to get a couple games in. I don't know how Seraphon's Spearhead unit is so far, but I wanted to look at this here. They're going to release a new Spearhead box with the Sunblooded Prowlers. And it's kind of an interesting mix. I can't speak to it in terms of Spearhead, but I'm looking at this as far as would this be a good purchase for a Seraphon army in Age of Sigmar? And I don't think I would recommend it at the moment. So it comes with an interesting group of units. So we have, it looks like 10 Saurus warriors here. We have the Hunters of Huanche, both, the dart pipes and the bolas, and then a unit of Terror Wings, as well as a Spawn of Chotek with his little tokens there, and then the Jaws of Itzl warband, which I hope at some point that makes its way over into Age of Sigmar, just because I love the Sunblood source hero, this guy here. I used to play with the Sunblood back when it was like one of the toughest units, little heroes that you could do, and you could load it out to where it was like really hard to kill, and it had exploding like crit hits and all this kind of stuff. The Sunblood is no longer in Age of Sigmar at the moment, but I would love to see this unit somehow make its way back into Age of Sigmar. But right now, this Spearhead is kind of an odd mix. If you already have some of these units, probably not worth buying at all. And at the moment, some of these really aren't useful in Age of Sigmar. Terra Wings, I mean, they're the cheapest unit we have, so in that case, sometimes it sees play. Hunters of Huanche are very good. Spawn of Chotek is almost never played by anybody in a competitive sense. Warriors, if you've been playing Seraphon very long, you've probably got a cabinet full of warriors. So if you don't, then you could build up this way, I guess. And then Jaws of Itzl just isn't even in Age of Sigmar at the moment. So maybe we'll see that change with next, battle scroll update or something. Maybe it'll get added. I don't know. But at the moment, I don't think it's all that useful for Age of Sigmar. I was looking at what the prices for Spearhead are if it flows with what it currently shows, which is like $145 US. You are saving quite a bit by buying, this box. It's I think it's over $200 worth of models here, but just a lot of it isn't quite usable for Age of Sigmar. So hopefully this means that we'll get a Jaws of Itzl, a Sunblood Saurus update at some point into Age of Sigmar. Maybe we'll get a Spawn of Chotek updated to make it viable, because I do like those models. They do look cool, and I would like to use them in Age of Sigmar. But right now, I don't think we see a whole lot of use out of this Spearhead box in a purely competitive sense. So hopefully that changes. There are some other cool ones here, but you know what? I don't play those. I'm Seraphon. Sola Seraphon. All right. See you guys later.